Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Get Play Soon. Also welcome to the episode 18 of LEECODE SQL 50 challenge. In the previous videos, in the previous episodes, we have completed all these problems under the topic basic aggregate functions. We have solved problems from two more topics like select topic and basic joins topic. So if you haven't watched all the previous 20 plus problems that we have solved earlier, make sure you watch them. Now moving ahead with the last problem, gameplay analysis 4 from the topic basic aggregate functions. So in this question gameplay analysis 4, we have only one table, that is the activity table. Here you have the columns like player ID, device ID, which means the player is playing that activity in which device, on which date, and how many times the game is played or how many games are played, whatever it may be. Okay, so these are the details present in this activity table. We are supposed to write a solution to report a fraction of players. So the output value will be in terms of fraction. So what we are going to output is log the player who logged in again on the day after the day they first logged in. So for example, you enrolled into some kind of activity area and you went there on the second day also. So the first day and the second day, both days if you have gone there, then those player details we are considering. So we'll calculate how many of such players have gone on the second days, and we will calculate the fraction of it. Once we get the fraction, we'll round it to 2 decimal places. Here is an example table. You can see multiple players like player ID 1, 2 and 3. We have 3 players. We have different devices, we have the event dates and the games played. So first look at the player ID 1. He had 2 entries here. We don't want this device ID. We are not considering on which device the guy is played or not. So we only want the player ID and the event date details. So the player ID has 2 entries. The event dates are 1st of March and 2nd of March, which means we'll consider the 1st of March as the first login day and 2nd of March is the next day. So we can consider this guy with the player ID 1. Now speaking about the second player ID, we have only one entry. So consider on the 25th of 6th month he has enrolled. We are not having any consecutive day. We are not having any entry with the player ID 2 again. So this guy will not be counted. Now speaking about player ID 3, you can see one time he is logged in on 3rd month and again in the 7th month. So it is not even consecutive month also. It is after so many months he has logged in. So we won't consider. So only player ID after the first login day, he has again on the second day also he has logged in and played something. So only player ID 1 out of the 3 player IDs. Therefore what is the count? 1 divided by 3. And we want this fraction to be rounded up to 2 decimals, right? Therefore 0.33. Now let's see how to do this in code. In the previous episode also, in the previous problem that we have solved, we have used this model called subquery model. Here you can see sub inner query. So there is some another query inside the outer query. Okay, now let's get started. The first thing we are going to find out, the first thing we are going to code is to identify the first login day details. Once we get the first login day details, that is 1st of March for player ID 1, 25th of the 6th month for player ID 2, 2nd of March for player ID 3. These are the first login details. Once we get the first login details only, then only we can check the next day is present in the event date column or not. So what is the first thing? First login dates. To do that, first we are writing the select statement. Here we are calculating minimum of event date. So for every player, if we calculate the minimum of event date, which gives the first time he logged in. Therefore from the activity table we are grouping by the player ID. Why we are grouping by the player ID means the player ID might have logged in multiple times. We want all the times to be at one place so that we can find out the minimum event date, the first time he has logged in. So grouping by player ID from activity table, we will find the minimum event date and we'll keep it name as first underscore login. We'll keep the name as first underscore login. Okay. Also we are selecting the player underscore id. So this whole sentence will give you the player id first login details. Now we want only the first login details, right? Because based on that only we'll be able to find out if he has logged in for the next day. To know that, we are using this where condition. We are using this where clause. So the purpose of using this where clause is to find if a player logged in exactly one day after the first login day. So how we are going to do it? We are giving the player id details, date underscore sub function. Date underscore sub function in SQL means date subtract function. So in the column event underscore date, in this column, we will go through each and every event underscore date present in the activity table. So we'll take one date from here, interval one day. When we write interval one day, what happens is this function, the date underscore sub function, subtract one day exactly from the event day, and then it will check if it is present or not. How it will check? With the help of this keyword in. So in checks if the result date exactly one day before the event date, if it is there for the first login or not. Okay, this is how we'll find out if the player has logged in on the second day or not. Now let's look at the outer query. We are supposed to find the fraction, right, of how many people has logged in like that. Want to place in the output, we will keep it in under the select statement. So in the select statement, we will calculate something and we will mention this column, fraction column, and from table activity. Okay, now to get the value under the fraction column, to get the 0.33 value, we are supposed to do all this code. Now let's see how to do this code. So the first thing here is count distinct player ID. So when we do distinct, it counts on unique player IDs who meet the where clause condition. So in the where clause, what we are doing, first login date, who has the player ID who has literally joined on the second day. So we are counting them. After that, we have one more subquery here, select count distinct player ID from activity. So when we are doing this, from the activity table, how many unique player IDs are present? 1, 2, 3. So 3 unique player IDs are present. So the denominator will be 3. This will result 1. Okay, 1 divided by 3. Once we get the fraction, we are supposed to round it to up to 2 decimals. So round function, the first parameter will be the calculation, the second parameter will be the decimal of 2. Therefore 1 by 3, we are rounding it to 2 decimals, 0.33 it will become. Once you do all the calculation, we will update the column name as fraction. This calculated part will be as a value. Okay, this is how we get the output. We did all the problems under basic aggregate functions. So till now we have completed problems under 3 different topics, that is under select topic, under basic joins topic, under basic aggregate functions topic. So in the next episode we will start with a new topic and new set of problems. Till here we have completed more than 20 problems out of LEECODE SQL 50. So out of 50 problems, more than 20 we have already covered. So stay tuned for the next episodes and the next concepts. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Bye bye.